Hello there, my name is Pavor Stelmach and now we'll unveil the top news of recent days. Today, the Second Parliamentary Summit of the International Crimean Platform began in Prague. In the conditions of a full-scale war with Russia, when battles are being fought in the Azov region and Donbass, Ukraine does not for a moment forget about Crimea, which has been suffering from Russian occupation for more than 9 years.
The goal of the summit is, first of all, unification and coordination of national and international efforts in the issues of the occupation of the Crimean Peninsula, further support for the restoration of the territorial integrity of Ukraine, Ukraine's path to the EU and NATO, implementation of the peace formula of the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. Ruslan Stefanchuk, the chairman of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine,
Crimea is an integral internationally recognized territory of Ukraine. The participation of dozens of countries in the Crimea Platform Forum testifies to the unchanging support of the democratic world to the territorial integrity of Ukraine. High-ranking representatives of the parliaments of more than 40 countries of the world, as well as international parliamentary assemblies and organizations, take part in the summit. The measure aims to increase the awareness of the general public about the illegal Russian occupation of Crimea, its negative impact on the provision of human rights, security in the Black Sea region, and global food security. The Czech Republic, which hosts the Assembly Summit, knows from its own historical experience what an unprovoked invasion of an aggressor and illegal annexation are. During the week, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov visited North Korea and Iran. The Kremlin cooperates with similar regimes that systematically violate the rights of their citizens, arm themselves and threaten the world with aggressive wars. Russia receives resources from North Korea and Iran to continue its war of aggression against Ukraine. In this way, Pyongyang and Tehran are sabotaging the efforts of the international community to overcome Putin's aggression. Having violated its international obligations towards Ukraine, the Russian Federation does not intend to adhere to other basic principles of international security. For Iranian drones and North Korean shells, Moscow is ready to sink with technologies that, in the hands of dictators, will make the world even more dangerous. Russia violated the basic principle of non-proliferation of nuclear weapons by announcing plans to deploy them in Belarus. It also made possible that Russia could be sharing work on nuclear technologies with Iran and North Korea. And it is the continuation of the decision of the State Duma of the Russian Federation on the withdrawal of ratification of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. The decision of the Russian State Duma is another attempt to blackmail the world of starting a nuclear war.
this is a big geopolitical game. What is the point of placing nuclear weapons in Belarus? When the Russians say that this is in opposition to the NATO bloc, then what is the point of putting nuclear weapons on the front line? It will either be destroyed or captured. This is just such a method to raise the stakes in the big geopolitical game. Russia believes that it is still playing it, but it is not playing anymore. It has already been played. This is the last efforts. Kirill Budanov, head of the main Directorate of Intelligence of Ministry of Defense of Ukraine.
Russia has completely failed the mission to settle the Armenian-Azerbaijan conflict, and therefore Lavrov stated participation in discussion of this problem in Iran is inappropriate. Putin wants war, not peace. Russia is trying to involve Ukraine's allies as much as possible in the new Middle East conflict. The United States has established an institution to monitor and investigate the illegal actions of fraudsters and corrupt officials who are using the American people's aid to Ukraine during Russia's full-scale invasion. Despite the growing number of reports of possible misuse of U.S. aid, its inspectors have found no signs of serious misconduct in this regard, as reported this spring. The U.S. has provided Ukraine with over $23 billion in direct budget support since the war started, according to the Congressional Research Service. This money is separate from military aid and allows Ukraine to continue providing essential services to its citizens like emergency first responders, healthcare, and education. It is distributed by the United States Agency for International Development through the World Bank to the Ukrainian Ministry of Finance. In a statement to CNN, the Ukrainian embassy in Washington said that Ukraine has moved ambitiously to pass reforms, including on its IMF program.
We have conducted these reforms initiated by Ukraine with the help and support from the US, EU and other friends. And their practical support to our Cabinet of Ministers as well as our National Bank of Ukraine, General Prosecutor Office and anti-corruption agencies is appreciated and valued. In all our obligation with IMF, EU and other international donors as well as USA, Ukraine delivers on this front. Statement of the Embassy of Ukraine in the United States of America.
Moreover, U.S. Special Representative for Ukraine's economic recovery, Pani Priska, was on a visit to Ukraine and met with Volodymyr Zelensky and Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal. The issue of ensuring Ukraine's macrofinancial stability in 2024, rebuilding of Ukraine and frozen Russian assets as a significant source of funds for the reconstruction of Ukraine were raised. Politicians focused on the growth points of Ukraine's GDP, processing in the agricultural sector, emergency, the military-industrial complex, construction, IT, and mission building. They also discussed mine clearings and joint business support programs in Ukraine. Denis Shmyhal and Pani Priska also discussed sources of financing for Ukraine's recovery. According to Denis Shmyhal, Ukraine is creating favorable conditions for foreign businesses.
We are implementing reforms, investment support, industrial parks, PPP projects and concessions. We have successful cases of energy cooperation between Energoatom and Westinghouse. Denis Shmyhal, Prime Minister of Ukraine.
And now ask yourself, if Ukraine used the funds and provided equipment inefficiently, how long would American politicians support our economy? Therefore, don't trust the rumors and information spread by the Russian mass media. All the aid provided to Ukraine goes precisely to those sectors where it is most needed. That concludes our today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay updated. Subscribe to our UATV English channel for more news from Ukraine. Your support is that really matters. Goodbye.